Hi, I'm Kwanzaa Brown, and I'm from On Track Program Resources. Today, I have the distinct pleasure of interviewing Dr. Takla from the Spark Center for Self-Development. She is going to be doing a series of workshops at On Track Program Resources starting in March all the way through June. So we're going to go ahead and dive right in and get to talking with her. Your final workshop in April is titled Becoming Allies to Ourselves. Describe the concept of becoming allies to ourselves as it pertains to Black people.
It's really about finding advocacy for ourselves, to be able to speak our truths in spaces that are supportive, whether they be with our own people, other Black people, or other people of color, or people from the dominant community. It's really being able to be who we are when we're amongst others and be validated and supported, even if in those environments at the time we don't feel like our environment is validating us. So it's really finding ways to advocate for ourselves and heal ourselves and support each other. So once you become a good ally to yourself, it's really easy to support other people in your family, in your community, at the schools, and reminding people of who they are, Black people, and not just the negative stereotypes or the negative history, but the positive, the strength base, all the beautiful things that don't get talked about within the Black community.
And so you briefly touched on this. So I was wondering, what are some ways that we as Black people can support each other as allies? Are there any other things that you would recommend?
Well, there are a lot of organizations out there that are focused on Black mental health and wellness. I think seeking those out in your community, and if they don't exist, talking to local governments, nonprofits, and even within your church communities or other social communities, and helping to create those spaces. I think also creating these spaces within your family, having conversations about health and wellness and being a Black person, and I think engaging more in these activities, as well as supporting the Black communities. A lot of people will shop Black owned, buy Black owned, support Black businesses and organizations. So all of those things contribute to being good allies to ourselves.
In May, you're going to be teaching a workshop on racism, managing anger, grief, and loss. What makes the experience of grief and loss from racism different from other losses?
Yes, so grief and loss definitely has, they cross over a bit, but in racialized grief and loss, what's different about it is it's always happening. There isn't a start or ending point, and it can be experienced daily. It's not this one event that you'll work through over time. It keeps happening again and again. So I think that's what really makes it different, is it can be experienced daily. And a lot of people will say at work, it's like every 5 minutes something that's coming up or there's something that's being said. And sometimes it's hard to call it out in the moment. So you may experience this later. Let's say something happens and then a few days later, you're like, oh, I feel really bad about that. I didn't get that promotion, or that person said something negative to me that I didn't respond to. And over time, this accumulates into a major grief and loss experience. I think that that's the main thing, is the difference is that you experience a lot of losses in a short period of time over years and years.
Thank you, Dr. Takla, for taking the time today to talk with us and sharing what your upcoming workshops are going to be about. We're looking forward to participating in those workshops and learning more from you.